Hey guys, how's it going? I've been away for a little bit, been crazy busy and all that sort of stuff. Last time you saw me, I would have been tearing the tank badges off the bike. Since then, I've cleaned up the tank and everything. So basically, I didn't think it was worth making a video for for putting stickers on a tank. So just to give you a rundown on what happened. Basically, I cleaned it up with this, a bit of wax and grease remover. After that, cleaned it up with some normal bike wash or whatever you'd do over the tank, got it dry, and slapped these retro Sportster inspired decals on it. They're pretty cool. They turned out really cool. I dig it. I think it looks cool. The white pops on the all black bike sort of thing. That's the only thing I've really done to it since. Hopefully I should get more time to ride now. And last time you saw me, I also had noticed that the battery on the bike was flat, and today I'm going to change the battery. Well, there's not a great deal of information on how to change these batteries. Some people say that there's a bit to it. I've watched a few videos and sort of read up on it. It even got to the point where one of the shops I was talking to about getting a replacement battery told me that they would nearly have to replace it for me because it's pretty involved. But it doesn't seem that hard. It just seems to be that there's a few more steps that you got to take than what you usually would. Batteries are usually straight under the seat. You can get to them very minimal effort. These are just a little bit more hidden, and you've got to take a little bit more off the bike to get to it. So I'll run you through that. I have decided just to put another genuine Harley Davidson battery. You can see the logo on it there. I looked around for some other options. There was basically, you get some upgraded batteries that, you know, have better charge and a longer life and that kind of thing. Decker was one of the ones that was recommended to me. It was about $10 or $15 more than this. So I mean, if you're planning on keeping your bike for a while, there's that option there, which apparently the Decker is a little bit more reliable and you get a little bit more out of it. I did look into getting like a lithium ion battery. I'm sure there's something out there that'll fit. Just everyone I talked to seemed to be a dead end on helping me out with that. And honestly, it's just a battery for the bike. These are not the lightest unit out there. If you get a lithium ion battery, it's going to be smaller, it's going to be lighter, and it's going to live longer and all that kind of thing. If you want to put the time and effort into tracking one down, go for it. But I just didn't see the use in, you know, I'm probably going to have this bike for at most another 12 months. So I just went with another genuine battery. You know, it'll get me by, and it'll get the next owner by for sure. So that's basically why I decided to do that. From what I've worked out, to change this battery, you only need 4, maybe 5 tools. An Allen key, basically, to take off some of the covers on the side. You need a 10mm spanner to take off the connectors on one side, that's a 10mm there. A 10mm socket on a ratchet with an extension on it, just to take off the earth strap. All this is going to make more sense as the video goes on. I've got a flat bladed screwdriver just to take out the main fuse when I get to that part. And if you are running an original seat and you still have the original screw in it, you're going to need a large Phillips head screwdriver just to take the seat off. This is all that you need to change the battery here. If somebody's telling you that it's a crazy difficult job to do, here you're going to see me do it. This is all that I'm going to use right here: battery, ratchet, spanner, Allen key, screwdriver. Most people have access to this kind of stuff. And if you are the person who wants to work on your bike or learn how to do it, don't be discouraged because somebody's told you that it's a difficult job to do. It's just not as straightforward as other bikes are. That's kind of what I've seen. Let's do it, and let's see how many times I can screw it up. The first thing we're going to need to do is take the seat off. Now, as I was saying before, if you had a standard seat and the standard screw, you would need a large Phillips head to take that one off. I have a aftermarket thumb screw, which some people will think is a stupid idea because it just means people can take your seat off in public. This doesn't really get parked in public too much, and also if you have the original seat, you're going to have that strap over the top where you've got to slide it around and pull that off to get the seat out. I obviously don't have that issue either due to having an aftermarket seat. So, seat is off. Once the seat's off, the next thing you have to do is take off the side covers on here. Basically these side covers, they just have like 3 tabs that pop in. You just need to kind of get your fingers behind it and just slowly massage and lever it out, and it just pops out. There's there, rubber grommets there. So that's off. So we'll pull those off both sides. That needs to clean through. Oh my god, this bike's getting terrible. Once again, it just pops straight out of there. Those three. The lighting is a bit terrible here, but basically this is where your 5mm Allen key comes in handy, where you're going to need to undo this one, and this one. I think there might be another one, we'll see. Now these, I'm not sure if this has been taken off before. I don't think I've taken this off before, because if I'd taken it off before I would have painted it, but they're not done up tight. They're you know, it's kind of done up hand tight. And there's no need to hang off it, it's just, you know, going into plastic, so once again, pretty easy. So after saying these were not done up that tight, this one down here, they did do up tight for some reason, which was awesome. This means it's not going to come off, but it made me look like a liar. So it's the shifter, or you can even put a ring spanner on it or something. Just get that little bit of leverage to crack it. And then once it's cracked, you can do it by hand. The lighting is probably terrible. I really should have probably moved the bike around so the light was better, but here we are. Oh yeah, you've got the one right under here. So, there's that one there, right underneath. I had a feeling I was forgetting one. So there's that. Try not to lose the washers. Now, the only reason you need to take anything off this side at all, or both those covers, is to get to this here, which is the negative strap, or the earth strap, or return strap, or whatever you want to call it, for the battery. And it's 10mm on there. Undo. Now it will be the one facing up. So take it off, put the other one back on so you don't forget it or lose it or whatever else. This is just how I do it. Put the nut back on there so you know it's there and it's held together. And while you're here, poke this up through the top, because basically what's going to happen is the battery pushes out the other side. That's the battery there, which you can't really see, I'm guessing. And this is just free, so when you undo the other side, you can just pull this straight through. So just while you're here, do that with it, and you won't have to come back over this side. Now we get to here, and everything's mounted to this plastic backing plate here. You've got a whole bunch of stuff on there. including this main fuse, before you go any further, actually probably before you took that earth strap off, remove this one. And this is what the screwdriver was for. You just go, nope, you're gonna want a small screwdriver. So you want a flat-headed screwdriver that's sort of small enough to fit into there, and you can just like lift up that, and once again just massage it. Remember, everything's made out of plastic, so like don't go hanging off it or chipping away at it or whatever else. You don't have to go nuts. It's just everything's just got little plastic catches on it, so just take your time, pop them out of the way. You do not want to break plastic catches, because once you break them, you got to replace them. So here we are. We're up to this bit. Now, these two screws hold that in. You have this fuel line or whatever it is. Sits there. It just sits in this little catch. Pop it out with your finger. It's pretty easy. I think it's an air vent. Pretty sure it's an air vent. And then 5mm. No, that's not 5mm at all. Okay. Cool. So this one's a 4mm. The covers on the other side are 5mm. These ones are a 4mm on mine. Once again, I am the second owner of this bike. I don't know what was done to it before, so I need to, if something is different from what I thought it would be or what I've seen on other bikes, I've kind of got to take it with a grain of salt, because I don't know what was original and what isn't, because this thing had a couple of little things done to it and somebody's played with it with a few little bits and pieces I've found along the way. Try not to draw the bolts. I mean, it's not the end if you do. Like, is this going to land there and you'll be able to get it? It's just the hassle. So now, moment of truth, can I get this out without disconnecting a whole bunch of stuff? So, this one here, I should be able to pop around there, and this just slides into two things over there. If I can get this wiring there, can I get that out just as is? There's a lot of, I don't know. So yeah, pull that behind there. So there you go. I didn't take anything off that except for that vent, and it's off. It gets out of the way. And there's the battery, and here is your 10mm spanner being used. There's a Phillips head, room for a Phillips head screw in that. I don't know how you'd ever get it there. Just a 10mm spanner seems to do it perfectly well. Take that one out and put it in there. So now they're all disconnected. The battery is actually free now. And because we pulled that wire out on the other side already, we can stand here and just kind of do that. And the battery is free. There's your battery. It's out. It's done. Matey. Just to compare the two, there's that one. 0516, it's a 2016 model. That's the original battery. So 2016, the 5th, it's now the 9th of 2019. So that's got a good 3 years out of it. Not bad. Not great, not bad. So back over here, here's the negative from the trickle charger. He goes on there. Also, if you have done this, there's not a great deal of info out. Like there's a very limited amount of information on YouTube and even on forums and stuff about doing this. All I know is that like Harley techs and aftermarket places that deal in Harley parts are aware of how shitty this job can be to do. So yeah, if you've got ideas on how to make it easier, or you've done it before and figured out better ways, you know, share some info. Let some people know. Putting the battery back in. Make sure that is done up tight. Yeah, like that. Yeah, always make sure your battery terminals are done up pretty well and seated properly. If they're loose, you lose contact, electricity, you know, resistance and all that kind of thing. If they're loose, they can build up more heat and it can melt things and do awful things to things that the battery is hooked up to. So just make sure they're tight, make sure that you can't wiggle any of that with your fingers, make sure that it's seated. Just, yeah. Now, you want to put this back out the hole that it was through. Make sure this is over here. And just kind of move that around and it pops in. There you go, done. Popped in. These two, once again, I'm just going to make a habit of putting that trickle charger on the outside of these. Once again, snug it up, don't hang off it. This is lead. Lead is very malleable. You will strip the thread out of it. Don't want to strip the thread. Oh, there might be a metal sleeve in there, but you don't want to strip the thread on a battery. It's, once again, it's just not a good time. Try to avoid it. Try not to break things when you're trying to fix things. So that's in there. That's all hooked up. What I am going to do before I go any further is I'm going to put that earth strap back on. This guy here, oh, that's got a heartbeat again, so that's got to be good. Goes down behind. This is the coolant tank, by the way. This is the coolant for the bike. If you're wondering where to have to check or fill or whatever, there's the fill line. It's sitting on the fill line. This is kind of what it should look like. Now, because I left that nut on there, I don't have to go looking for it, and I don't have to go looking for the leads that came off it. So I'm going to do that. And there's like other ones in here and stuff. That's not the one you're after. You're always, unless somebody's messed with the bike or whatever, it should be the one on the side here. And put that back on there. Always start it off hand tight. You don't want to strip thread or cross thread it. once again, just nip it up. Don't strip it. Just do that. Battery's all hooked up. That's your battery hooked up. So now put this back in. I'm going to pop that behind there. And all these are is so you can see these two teeth, I guess. There's two slots, if you can see them there and there. Pretty much they slot in, and the leverage of the two screws on that side pushing it in is all that holds this in. That's what holds your battery in, that's what holds this in place. There's no catches or anything like that. It's just line it up, slot it in, and away you go. Now, make sure all the wiring, this air vent is out of the way. Oh, so that vent you can kind of, it's got a fair bit of give in it. So, because everything's black and the lighting is kind of crappy, you probably can't see what I'm doing. But I've just got to get down and around there. Line those up. That behind that grommet. Like that. And that's in. Let's get this wire here around the top. Come on, buddy. Come on. Yeah, so that popped off. That's fantastic. That's alright. So you can do that. It's that vent is, so here's what it is. That is just a breather for your fuel. All it does, you slip over there. So if you want to take that out of the way, you can just pull that out. It just sits there, and you can feed it through from the bottom. Put it back in, you go up there. I'll actually do that after I put those back in. So here we go. 2 screws, 4mm Allen key. Line up the holes. Just put that one in loosely in case I've got to jiggle this around to line it up. That one there just sits in there, I'm pretty sure. Don't know why that came out. I didn't mean to take that one out. The other thing is, if you're not taking these off here and you're actually leaving them seated, if you're careful, you're actually less, I guess the way I look at it is you're less likely to pull these wires if you've got them loosely hanging off and they're catching like you would have. Most people actually have pegs here. It's just extra stuff to catch on. If it's all stuck there, then you just move it as one piece and it's less to worry about, and it makes the job a little bit quicker from what I've seen. One thing I am learning from doing YouTube videos is it does seem to take longer when you're filming, because you sort of want to explain what you're doing and you're trying to think about 2 or 3 different things at once instead of what you normally would be while doing this kind of stuff. So that one just goes back on there. That's not hard to put on. And that one pushes in there. He pops back in. This guy slides back into there. Come on, buddy. So that's all the internals back on. Cool. except for this guy. So yeah, this, as far as the internal work goes, this will be the last thing I'd put in. Remember to put it back in, otherwise you're going to freak out when you go to start your bike and it doesn't start. I don't think it matters which way around it goes. It was in that way. And slide it until it pops and clicks in. Make sure it passes that, and that's actually got it all clipped in and all the rest of it. So now, I want to make sure it starts. You've got everything on. The only thing that's not on this now is the covers and the seat. So, hey. Sweet. It works again. That's it. Basically your panels, I'll show you those. This is kind of self-explanatory, but I'm going to keep this off and paint it before it goes back on. So the big cover goes on the right hand side. Just sort of kind of line that up and go bang, bang, bang. Like they jiggle around a little bit, but when it's there like that, you know when it's on. Other side is the same. Just sort of line them up there and there and there and there. That's done. Seat. My seat is kind of annoying to put on because between the tank lift and all the rest of it, it needs a little bit of convincing to get it on there, to clip in. Tighten that down. It's all clipped in there. Seat is back on. Job's done. That's it. Finished. The only thing that's missing is that cover, which I'm going to paint it. That's it. So hope that helps some people out. It's not that difficult if you've sort of got the tools. And I mean, honestly, if I wasn't recording this, there'd probably be a 15-minute, half an hour job to change out that battery. You know, it's if you're stuck at home with a flat battery, it's probably, in my opinion, it's not worth getting your bike trailered to a dealership for them to change the battery, or to get somebody to come out to your house to do the battery for you. If you don't feel up to it yourself, or if you know somebody who is kind of handy with tools and stuff, you should be able to do it. It's really not a difficult job. But yeah, there we go guys, it's all done. Thanks for watching, and hopefully there'll be some more videos again soon. I know I say that a lot, and my channel is completely inconsistent and terrible for it. But hey, there it is. Hopefully this helps some people out. Have a good one, and I will see you later. Cheers.